until I say it's over. In a place where there is no escape, where every step could be your last, survival is no longer enough. Here, only one thing matters: power. Sari thought he understood the game. He thought he could find a way out. But this place, this was different. Walls closed in from every side. Every path looked the same. Every choice led deeper into the trap. And somewhere in the shadows, someone was watching, waiting, testing him. Be careful with your bullets. Because in here, every bullet had a cost. Every decision had consequences. And hesitation meant death. Sari searched for a way out, moving through darkness, following nothing but instinct. A faint wind brushed against his face, a sign, maybe, or just another illusion. There was no certainty here. Only doubt. Only fear. Only the slow realization that he was not in control. Then came the moment when everything changed. Yavuz was captured, surrounded. No escape. No backup. No time. The air itself felt heavy, like it was waiting for something terrible to happen. And it was fire. They were going to burn him alive. Not just to kill him, but to send a message. A message to everyone watching. Yavuz stood there, facing death, not with fear, but with clarity. Because he knew something they didn't. This wasn't about him. Commander, my life doesn't matter. There are moments when a soldier stops thinking about himself. When fear disappears. When survival becomes meaningless. This was one of those moments. What matters is the honor of this country. Time was running out. Minutes felt like seconds. Seconds felt like nothing. And the only way to stop it was unthinkable. Strike the place. A command no one wants to give. A decision no one wants to make. But sometimes, war doesn't leave you with choices. Only consequences. Jets were too far. Time was too short. A drone was deployed. 6 minutes. Just 6 minutes between life and sacrifice. Yavuz stood there waiting, not hoping to be saved, but ready to die. Because some things are bigger than life itself. But fate had other plans. The drone was shot down. Hope shattered in an instant. The plan failed. Time ran out. And for a moment, everything felt lost. But not everyone had given up. They're coming. Through chaos, through fire, through impossible odds they came. The team arrived. Gunfire echoed. Smoke filled the air. Every second turned into a fight for survival. And somehow, they made it. Yavuz survived. But survival comes with a cost. Some wounds you can see. Others stay buried deep inside. And those are the ones that never heal. But the mission wasn't over. Not even close. Because somewhere out there, something bigger was already in motion. A plan. A dangerous plan. Carefully prepared. Slowly unfolding. And at the center of it all, Kolak. A name that carried chaos. A name that left destruction wherever it went. Trust began to break. Questions started to rise. Did you work with him? Lies, truths, half-truths. In this world, nothing was clear anymore. And then, everything exploded. An ambush. Sudden. Brutal. Relentless. The road turned into a battlefield. Vehicles were hit. Men were thrown into chaos. Bullets tore through the silence. There was no warning. No escape. Only survival. Afsi was trapped. Crushed inside the wreckage. His arm pinned. His body stuck. Every second made it worse. Every movement brought more pain. There was only one way out. But it came with a price. A terrible price. If we don't cut it, he won't survive. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Unbearable. Because this wasn't just a decision. It was a sacrifice. Don't do it. But time didn't care. Pain didn't care. War never cares. The vehicle was slipping. Closer to the edge. Closer to the fall. And still no rescue. No help. No miracle. Only a choice. Wait and die. Or act. And lose a part of yourself forever. Please. But in the end, survival demands something from everyone. And sometimes, it takes everything. Around them, the fight continued. Enemies closing in. Ammo running low. Every second, pushing them closer to the edge. But they held their ground. Because that's what they do. Because that's who they are. They fight. Even when it hurts. Even when it breaks them. Even when there's nothing left. Because giving up is never an option. And in the middle of chaos, in the middle of pain, in the middle of impossible choices, they keep going. Not for themselves, but for each other. For something greater. For something that can't be seen, but is always there. Honor. And in the end, that's what defines them. Not the battles they fight. Not the enemies they face. but the sacrifices they are willing to make. Because in war, you don't just fight to live. You fight for what matters. And sometimes, you die for it.